The Saga of the Bagram Memorial. This is not the story I wanted to tell about this memorial, but here I am. I was stationed at Bagram Airbase in February of 2002. Part of the way through the deployment, I was asked to build a memorial for a Polish soldier who was injured. First Sergeant Poulin had chosen me because he had seen that I knew how to lay bricks. The lieutenant colonel I talked to from a different command wanted a simple round column so they could attach a plaque to it. I suggested something larger, one that was for all those who were killed or injured in Afghanistan. He liked the idea, so we walked around and looked for a place to put such a large brick structure. At a place called the Four Corners, I saw a sidewalk that was already poured by the Russians years ago, and it would display the memorial well. It was on Disney Avenue, and the crossroads led to the PX and the runway. He liked the location, and I set to work. I was given 2 helpers, which turned into 3 over time. The first thing I needed was bricks. The lieutenant colonel said he would coordinate for them, so I sent one of my guys, his name was Bobby Thompson, with Michael Tagawan to get them. I was later informed and have photographs to prove Schaefer was one of the laborers as well. I now need sand, Portland cement, and lime. There is not a Lowe's, Home Depot, or local lumberyard to purchase masonry cement from. I had to make it. The sand was arranged for, and it was delivered as well. I drove a 5-ton dump around the runway to pick up a load of 90-pound sacks of Portland cement and went in search of lime. I was told that the mortuary had some, which was pretty creepy to me. All the boxes were checked. I got 5 5-gallon jugs of water and began mixing the cement. I slapped down the first trowel full of cement and set the brick on top of it. All the water was instantly sucked out of the fresh cement. I was not able to level the brick at all. This would not do. I have had this happen before when working with my Uncle Ronnie in the States. I just needed to wet the brick to allow for a slower drying of the cement. I could not roll out a hose to keep them wet, so I got a trash can and filled it with water. The aluminum trash can was then filled with bricks and let it sit until the bubbling stopped. The sidewalk was then splashed with water and the process began again. It was perfect. The bricks became usable once more. Course after course was laid. 2 columns stood by the end of the day. I took my time laying the rough, not perfectly square bricks with all the skill I possessed. The next day I built a frame to hold up support bricks to arch the 2 columns together. Once the arch was complete, I left the lime out of the mix and used sand and cement together and ran rebar over the arch to keep it from crumbling in the earthquake-prone area of Bagram. I capped the arch and put some initials and thumbprints on the side of the arch. Next, I laid the round column in the center. The sloped face of the round front would accommodate a plaque that was to tell everybody passing by, "You will be remembered." The back I squared up and put some fitting soldier courses in it. The back was able to hold another plaque if the Army wanted. I did not have a brick saw, so I had to trowel the brick into shape I wanted them to be. Once done, I was proud of the memorial and could not wait to see what they did with it. I had no time to stop and admire my work. It was off to do something else construction-wise. I flew out of Bagram Airbase Afghanistan, knowing I built a memorial for those who are heroes to me. Several years and 2 more deployments later, I still do not have any word about the memorial. At this point, I had been medically retired and still wanted to know the fate of the brick structure I poured my literal blood, sweat, and tears into. I did what I could to search for any information I could find out about the memorial. I searched Google for pictures of memorials at Bagram Airbase. Picture after picture of memorials built, twin towers, boots, rifles, and helmet, rock walls, murals, you name it. No sight of my brick arch. Then, 10 pages deep on Google Pictures, there it was, standing tall, beautiful, and bare. I look at the photo tag, and it was taken by James the Red, a man who served on Bagram Base. He posted the picture and titled it Mystery Afghan-Russian Architecture. It had been posted March 29, 2008. I found it 170 days later, on September 15, 2008. I was so ecstatic and heartbroken. It had sat for 7 years without anyone knowing why it was constructed. It was so near the gym and main thoroughfare. James the Red had asked, "This is at Bagram Air Base near the Four Corners intersection. If you have any clue what it is or what it represents, please let me know. Thanks." That began my hectic email writing campaign to get a plaque put on it. I emailed the news outlets, my governor's office, state house reps, anyone I could think of. It was not long before I had replies to my pleadings. I was contacted by military personnel, and we talked about what I wanted on the plaque. I replied to Congressman Dan Bourne through his military legislative assistant Jared Byrne. I would like, in honor of all coalition forces who lost life or limb in the line of duty while serving at Bagram Airbase Afghanistan, may their sacrifice be forever on our hearts and minds. We will not forget. Built June 2002, dedicated August 2009. They dropped the Bagram Airbase part, but kept the rest. I was so excited to see the plaque put on it. It was an exciting day. I knew the memorial was complete. Then the Afghan withdrawal happened. What was to become of the memorial that stood so long naked? Would the plaque be left? I had another panicked search trying to discover its fate. I searched photos and YouTube videos for a sighting of the memorial, to no avail. I resigned myself to just scrolling the pictures again. It was buried deep into the photos, but there it was. Attached to the photo of my monument was an article about them packing up all the plaques and bringing them to the United States. The article was about Pat Tillman's jersey. I emailed the writer of the article. He is a writer for Stars and Stripes, and his name is J.P. Lawrence. He replied and provided better photos of the before and after the plaque removal and said it has to be somewhere stateside. He said he would check with his contacts and see what he could find out. The search has resumed, but this time it is for the plaque, the final piece of the puzzle. If you can help me find the location of the plaque, I would be so very grateful. Stay tuned for more updates, and God bless you all.